Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. I congratulate you and Mr. McKeon for skillfully navigating this legislation to the floor, and I strongly support it. Our country's economy has been severely affected by a lack of liquidity crisis. In plain language, people who need to borrow money to do good things, who are creditworthy, are having a very difficult time borrowing that money. The early tremors are present in the education field that young men and women who need money to go to school are beginning to have trouble borrowing that money. And we are frankly concerned that an earthquake may follow those tremors. Rather than wait for that disaster to occur, Chairman Miller, Mr. McKeon are taking preventive action along with the Secretary of Education to try to prevent such a calamity from occurring. This legislation is commendable on any number of grounds. First, it strengthens the lender of last resort program so that guarantee agencies around the country will be equipped to quickly move capital to students and schools who find it difficult or impossible to get that capital from the banking institutions. Second, it increases the limits that students can borrow money that is guaranteed under the federal guaranteed loan programs. This is especially important because so many of our students need what are called gap loans. This is the person who has an aid package of $28,000, but who needs $31,000 to go to school. In the past, the way families and students have dealt with this problem is to find a private lender to make a loan to fill that gap. There is increasing evidence that achieving that loan is increasingly difficult. By raising the loan limits in a fiscally responsible way, this bill alleviates that problem. And finally, by encouraging the growth of technological progress in the education sector, this bill ramps up the infrastructure that will be necessary to move loans to more students around the country as the time has come. There's a lot of cynicism, Mr. Speaker, in this country about government, and some of it is quite justifiable. But I would hope that the cynics would watch the process that's occurred here, where two leaders, one Democrat, one Republican, have come together, listened to the Secretary of Education, carefully analyzed the problem, and worked together to produce a piece of legislation that I believe will solve that problem. I commend them for their leadership. I'm proud to support this legislation. I would urge Republicans and Democrats to vote yes, and I yield back the balance of my time.